Hey, so today's Friday and it's typically my leg day and I do that at the gym, but the weather outside is frightful, so I decided to do an at-home workout and I decided to share. So the first thing I like to do is I like to get my muscles warmed up and do some stretching. So first what I like to do is kind of stretch out my hamstrings back here. And so I use a bench, or in this case, a coffee table. And I put my right leg on top and I slightly bend forward until I feel those hamstrings activated. And I hold this stretch for a couple seconds. And then I do it with the other leg. And I can go back and forth, just to kind of just get rid of those tightness. I can also work both of them at the same time by just having feet width apart. And I just bend over like that, like I'm doing a deadlift, until they're activated. And I could do that a couple times as well. The next thing I like to do is to just do your basic quad stretch, like so. And I'm sure you've done this millions of times. And another thing too, to kind of get my hips and everything working for a squat, is I feet width apart, touch my toes, bend down, and then stand up. And do that a couple times. So a lot of my exercises deal with squatting, so I want to make sure that I'm well oiled. And one of the other last things I like to do is a hip opener, is I act like I'm doing a runner's lunge, but with my knee actually down, pelvis tilted up, hands behind head, and I just move slightly where my knee is slightly a little forward than my ankle to get that good stretch. I do it on the right, and then I switch legs, and you can see how it looks on this side. Like that. Pelvis up. I feel that stretch, and it feels really good. And so I cycle through those. Other things that I've done, also for hamstrings, is to touch my toes like that, just to get it warmed up. Or you could do kind of like a side squat. That's what I like to do. I like to do that for 5 minutes just to get warmed up before I actually start with any of my exercises. And so that'll be part 2.